Hello, my name is Wally Greenlees. I'm an engineer with the Department of Agriculture and Land Stewardship. I had the pleasure of designing this McCrea AML site, and I enjoyed taking a few moments of your time to discuss some of the things we did to make this project a success. The goal of every AML reclamation is to mitigate or remove the hazards left by the surface mining of coal. Among others, those hazards include steep cliffs or high walls, dangerous spoil piles, and hazardous, often acidic and deep, water bodies or pit ponds. A combination of conventional and geomorphic or natural landform techniques were used in the design of the McCrea AML site. Conventional reclamation uses the common practice of terracing to reduce slope length. Terraces temporarily store water during large rainfall events. The stored water drains out of the terraces through intake structures into underground pipes, which then carry the water downstream in a controlled fashion. Mine is a terrace ridge. We often use terraces in our AML reclamation designs because they're useful to break up the slope length and store stormwater during runoff events. The geomorphic or natural landform design method endeavors to recreate on a smaller scale what natural processes could accomplish over time. Natural landform designs include meandered streams in a gently rolling landscape without terraces or underground piping. The establishment of vegetation is critical to the success of a natural landform design because it is generally more susceptible to soil erosion than conventional reclamation. Despite potential challenges, natural landform designs offer a less expensive way of carrying storm runoff across the site than the installation of large quantities of pipe. The rolling landscape behind me is the result of a natural regrade design for this part of the project. Natural regrade endeavors to recreate what natural process would create over time.
Roughly 30 acres are contained within the project boundary. About 28 of those were directly affected by mass grading. The remaining 2 acres were indirectly affected by impounded water or construction equipment access. All AML sites are unique, and several considerations go into each design. Those include landowner interest, cost of construction, types and locations of mining hazards, the size of the contributing watersheds, and anticipated end use. The McCrea site was designed to create space for managed grazing with mild slopes to accommodate the occasional harvesting of forage. The hybrid design includes shallow wetland pools to manage stormwater runoff, reduce slopes of the waterways, improve water quality, and provide waterfowl habitat.
In my designs, I often like to use concrete blocks like the one you see here as outlets for our wetland pools. The concrete box is much better, in my opinion, at withstanding the shear loads that can be developed on surface ice during the winter conditions. After the water leaves the stilling basin, it flows into this relatively flat, naturally meandered channel that's been designed. I try to avoid using too much riprap to line these channels, because riprap is expensive, it'll break down over time, and it can sometimes move, which creates more erosion. Next to me is a terrace intake that we typically use on our projects. I'm standing in an area where we expect stormwater to collect during a significant rainfall event. The water will exit the intake and to a place downstream, in this case the wetland.
Maintenance is required after construction is complete. Landowners should consider how often the site will be mowed to control growth of undesirable vegetation. If grazing is the intended end use, consideration must be given to how livestock will be managed. Flash or rotational grazing is typically a good option. Addition of ag lime and careful rates of manure application are important to maintain soil health. Despite the best reclamation efforts, hot spots of various sizes sometimes appear where vegetation does not grow. Landowners should be prepared to spot treat and reseed those areas.
What I wanted to show folks here is that this is a really good vegetation, though it's not perfect. You can see the cobbles of the coal and some of the slag still left, but we've treated the surface and we have some good vegetation. So something to expect if your land is reclaimed is not perfection, but something better than what it was before.
I believe a really good reclamation removes mining hazards and supports a blanket of grassy vegetation in such a way that the average passerby does not recognize the site was once an abandoned coal mine.